Early Years Pedagogy 0 to 8 Foundation Degree. First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Julie McLarnon. I have been delivering on our current Early Years Foundation degree for the last 18 years. And I'm the author of this course, and it has been developed and written following a great deal of research and investigation to ensure that this is a fresh, new approach that the sector needs right now and that the employers need right now. And I'll explain that as I go through. So, so in terms of the course, what we're looking for is really child-centered practitioners who want to bring graduate leadership to the workplace, okay? And to do this in a playful way that makes real change to children. And we're looking to go from 0 to 8, rather than just the 0 to 5, because we recognise at NESCOT, as do many of you who are working within the sector, that a formal approach to learning and child development doesn't necessarily benefit all children. Children learn best through play. And if we have a quick look at the picture that I've just put up on the left here of the young children, for some they'll be seen as mucking about, but for us who know better, these are children who are learning boundaries, they're learning spatial awareness, they're learning communication skills, they're learning about themselves, they're learning about others, okay? All with social interaction, all through play. So in terms of what's at the heart of this course is we're bringing something new and something different in terms of the assessment processes. We're giving students a very safe place to experiment and explore, to look at what they currently do, and then thinking around alternative and playful ways of doing something different. And at NESCOT, we actually value that play is the work of the child. Okay, children are never not just playing, and it's really interesting. I've been doing a quick sort of trawl of primary schools and looking at reception class and key stage 1 and continuous provision, where schools have had to reiterate and say again and again, children are not just playing here, they're learning. Okay, they're learning. And NESCOT wants to raise that principle again and say actually play is what's really important here. And we believe very strongly that children have a right to play, and while they're playing, they learn. Okay, so first of all, what is pedagogy? Now, I know not everybody has a level 3, but you will have picked up on this word during your level 3, and if you've been working in practice for longer, pedagogy is the art and science of educating children. And you will notice that government documentation and government guidance, the word pedagogy is raised again and again. And we're bringing this course together to align with government speak, government think, but also to develop our vocabularies so that when we're explaining working with parents, when we're working with other colleagues, that when we talk about pedagogy, we're talking about the art and science of how children learn. We're talking about intuition. We're talking about practitioners drawing from, from a place of experience and drawing from a place of knowledge, that actually playful pedagogy, the art and science of educating children, is about what you do to engage with them and to allow them to develop and learn, okay? And what we're looking is at playful and active learning approaches. And the reason that we're emphasizing this is that we have noticed, and some of you may have noticed yourself, that in settings there is sometimes an expectation that children will be able to learn in a formal way. And it may come from parents, sometimes it can come from staff, sometimes it comes from media. But actually, if we allow children to get up and move and engage effectively, they're more likely to learn, and they're more likely to become, developmentally, to develop in a developmentally appropriate way. And the people that are there to do that and to help them are you, the professionals. And it's about giving you some space to claim back, if you like, actually, I know what we need to do here. I know that there are more playful and effective ways of doing things. So, foundation degree. Now, this is the first 2 years of a degree course, level 4, level 5, okay? And it is one of the best ways to combine work and study, all right? So it means that you are working, all our assignments are work-based focused, they're all practice focused, and you are looking at what you currently do in your setting and you're analysing it and assessing it, and you're experimenting with different ways of bringing playful approaches to what you do and comparing and contrasting in order to improve the outcomes for children. Okay. Foundation degrees extend your career options. Now, some students come in, they want to do the 2-year foundation degree, and they want to stay within their early years setting, and they just want to bring foundation degree knowledge to where they are. Often a level 5 comes with increased income. Okay, it's supportive for those who maybe want to develop, move into management, maybe third in charge, or actually looking at deputy managing, and will support you to do that. Students use it to actually hone and develop their craft in settings, and so once they've got to level 5, that's all they want, that's where they want to park it. Others have broader career plans. Some may want to become early years, have early years teacher status. Some might want to go on to do PGCE and will go on to a top up. I will explain what PGCE is for those who don't know when we go further in. But want to use the level 5 to go on to a level 6. Okay. What we offer you here at Nescott is very, very experienced lecturers, and who will support you every step of the way. We've just had what are called our NSS surveys, National Student Surveys. We had 100% satisfaction rate on our current foundation degree course. We have 100% pass rate. I've been doing this 18 years, I've never lost one. Okay. So if you were to choose to come to Nescott, you're in very, very safe hands. So what will you study? So in level 4, you start reflecting in early years. You start thinking about what you do and why you do it. And you start to consider yourself as a learner. So you don't just come in and start the course, you come in and we start talking about the skills that you need, how you can reflect, what needs to be in place, how to manage your time. We have tutorials dotted throughout the 2 years. You have set tutorials in your timetable 3 times a year, but you also have drop-in sessions either side. In terms of your learning, we have excellent facilities for adult learners. We have excellent HE facilities. So we have really good library sources. We have really good learner support, because some of you may not have picked up a pen and written anything for many years. And people are there just to help and to guide you. And our libraries are open Saturday and Sunday, which allows you that space to come into college and to work and to move away from the distractions from home. So reflective learners is the first module. We show you how to source books. We talk about reading skills, just to get you ready. Then we look at the children's development and playful learning, and we actually really focus down and observe children, and we develop playful activities so that you can explore different methods of supporting children's learning and looking at how you observe children, questioning things like the use of tapestry and online type programs, really sort of drilling down into what you actually do in terms of children's learning and assessment and child development. And we look at why it's so significant, if you're planning something, to understand where a child is at developmentally. Third module is playful pedagogy. We start to look at play theory. And there you're really beginning to drill down here on what you would normally do, and then think, actually, how could I make that more playful? So you're looking at a real compare and contrast. How can I make this more fun? If we think at how we learn better if we're having a laugh. Okay, we learn better if we're really engaged and enjoying what we're doing. Really looking at, actually, what can I do to make this more enjoyable for the child? And at the same time, sort of developmentally understanding boundaries and rules, etc. We're not talking about chaos. We're talking about actually engaging with children. Then we look at parents and carers as partners. Now, this is where we start to look at our relationships with the parents and the carers that we work with. For example, it was very interesting, and on a different course I was doing, one student who was at a private setting found that actually she never met the parents, she only ever met the au pair, and started to really think about, actually, how do I improve that relationship when actually the EYFS says that, and that I must work with parents, as does when we work in Key Stage 1, that actually parent partnership is significant to supporting children. And this is where we start to look at research. Okay, we start to look at how we gather data from people. We start to look at how we work with questionnaires, etc. Because at the very end of your 2 years, you will be doing a piece of research on your, on your practice. And rather than say at the end of the module, right, let's go and do a piece of research, we have built in and threaded through everything that you need to ensure that you can undertake that. We then go on to level 5. Got to pass level 4 to get level 5. And we look at curriculum frameworks and global considerations. We look outside. We look at Australia. We look at New Zealand. We look at Canadian Indigenous populations in terms of childcare there. We look to Italy, we look to India. We start to look at what others are doing out there. We look to philosophies, we look to pioneers, we look to theorists. Okay. And we also start considering how we can use social media as a means of spreading the message. So we're supporting students to make a podcast. It's not about marketing. You're not going to launch your marketing career, but actually, if you're going to start to engage and spread knowledge, how do you do that effectively in the digital world? And we start to explore that there. Next one is children's welfare, legal responsibilities, professional responsibilities. We look at detailed case studies of child abuse. And we look at how that learning from those case studies translate into our practice and bring it to life. This is a really interesting module that we do, because you really do start to explore and question, could it happen here? We then move on to digital pedagogy and communication skills. So we're starting to look at the, how we're using social media. We start to look at the influences and the impact that has. And we look at ourselves as communicators, because we're graduate leaders. Eventually, once we've got our level 5, we are then taking all that knowledge, and it doesn't sit with us, it has to go out. And it's like, how do you get that out there? How do you spread that message? How do I communicate? What communication skills do I need? And then level 5 at the end, leading change, influencing practice through research. You do a project on whatever floats your boat. Having been given all this learning and guidance beforehand, you then go off and you look at a piece of practice that you want to explore further. And we have had such success stories from students who have done research projects at the end of their level 5. We've had students that have, it's changed the way that they work. They've changed entire policies within settings. We had one student that changed. She's a very big primary school, full form reception entry. She changed the entire transition into Key Stage 1 from her reception class as a result of this focus down this particular pieces of research. So that's what the course entails. What do you need to get on? Level 3 early years qualification. Now, to come onto this onto this course, you don't need English, maths and science, okay? Most of you will have that. If you haven't got a GCSE in English, you might need to do an equivalency or a written task just to check in terms of what support levels you need. But a level 3 normally does have either functional skills or your GCSE maths or English. Play work, health and social care work, we're going up from 0 to 8. A levels in irrelevant subjects, so health and social care, any of the sociology, psychology, some will have done child development. And what you do need to be doing is working or volunteering with children 0 to 8 at least 16 hours per week, okay, for the duration of the 2 years. Although we say normally 2 years experience, we do know that some of you will have lots of experience before maybe you qualified, or you might be newly qualified, but you've been working in after school clubs, before school clubs, you've been working, babysitting, childmind. There's all sorts of things that you've been doing, which may mean that you have more insight. Your parents might have been childminders and you've helped them out. And we do know that some students have accelerated promotion within their settings, and we will take students where that has happened to, where they found themselves with management leadership responsibilities, because the course really does help you work your way through your practice, what you're doing here and now. It gives you a safe place to do that. We do, like I say, accredited, prior experiential learning. What would happen is that you would apply, and then we would discuss that at interview. Mature students currently on, this is NESCOT, we would call non-traditional routes into higher education. You could be in a classroom where you go from 18, 19 to 55. Okay, so it's a broad range. We welcome all backgrounds. We have had some men come onto the course, but we welcome diverse range of backgrounds. You need a clean DBS, which if you're working in a setting, you will have, but it's a safeguarding prerequisite that we just need to tick off. And you need to nominate a mentor. Now, the mentor Their role is not to mark your work. It's not to, you know, sort of look at what you monitor, what you're doing. Their role is to support you to think about your assignments and your reflections. Okay, they're the ones that you would talk to about, you know, this is my assignments asking me to observe a child and look at a particular area of development and then set something up differently. What do you think I could do? Where do you think I could go? Testing out sounding boards for ideas. What makes this more playful than that? Okay, where do you think my special project could go? They're just that help and support in the workplace. Okay. Cost 6,300 per year, much cheaper than going on to other degree courses. There are loans, etc., available, and you could, you know, because it's a full-time course on part-time hours, and the full-time aspect is made of the fact that you're actually working or volunteering in a setting. It means that you'll get a full loan, but you can also get maintenance for those who maybe have children or are thinking about sort of like transport costs, etc. Did I say free parking? Yeah, free parking. Never underestimate free parking. So you would come here on a Tuesday, 3:30 to 8. Okay. Excellent links to transport, and so we've got, but there's buses go past, but we've also got the train line at East Ewell. And we've got really good access routes, the M25, M3. We have students that come sort of Capel, Dorking way. We have students that come out from Wimbledon. They sort of live here, but they've, you know, so they're working near into London. The course will start, because this is brand new. This course will start in October 2021. We're looking for Tuesday, the 27th of October. And what will happen now is that I will hold interviews in August and September up till quite late. So although I will be, I'm sort of off on leave, I am looking at my emails and I will be calling for interviews. I can be very flexible with this. I can do Zoom interviews in the evening if need be. I appreciate, you know, that time is of the essence, and in terms of work commitments, etc. It's a 30-week course. And if we'll be starting in October, we'll be going into mid-June. But again, I give all details for those who choose to apply and come for interview. This is a really flexible route to it gives you a platform to jump onto many, many different aspects, areas, professional areas. So like I say, if you do your level 5, you're looking to go teach training route, do your level 5, you do a top up at your level 6, so you could then go on to do PGCE. You can park it at level 5. We've had students take their level 5 and go on to do social work training. We've had students park it at level 5 and go on to do psychology training. Okay, so we've also got students going on to do their MAs, and we've got 2 students who are now currently doing a PhD. But it gives you choice. You know, a foundation degree up to level 5 gives you choice, and you know, in this particular, especially in this current climate, that's very important in terms of employment. That's me. That's me again. If you want to, you can email me. This is my direct number. At the moment, because of the holidays, it's quiet. I won't pick up my phone, but I will be looking at my emails. Well, it's lovely to talk to you, even if I can't see you. Hopefully some of you will apply. It is going to be a really exciting course. I'm really looking forward to it. And it is different to what else is out there at the moment. And there will be opportunities for a top up here, which you know, hopefully next, you know, when you finish at level 5, for you to continue to keep your career, you know, your academic career here at NISCOP. I look forward to hearing from you all, and have a lovely evening and stay cool.